Hello students, Bindu Chaudhary welcomes you in your social science class. Today we are covering our chapter 6 of unit 3rd, the judiciary. The name of the chapter is Understanding Our Criminal Justice System, and in this chapter, in the previous part, we had discussed about the judiciary system. It means a pyramid which held the different stages of the court. As in the top level we have Supreme Court, in the middle level we have high courts, and in the lower level we have lower courts, and these are situated at tehsils, towns and other lower places. Okay, when we discussed about these steps, different stages of the court, then what's the rule of this one? The main rule is, if any appellant is not satisfied by the lower court, then they will appeal on the high court, and maybe from any reason not satisfied from the results or consequences of the high court, then appeal to the Supreme Court, and whatever may be the decision taken by the Supreme Court implemented on the all levels of the court. It means if any case comes in the Supreme Court, then no diversion against to the any case. Okay, this one concept is clear. When we are discussing about the criminal justice system, we discussed about the criminal laws and civil laws. So many points are there in the criminal laws, many steps are there. What are the circumstances we had discussed in this one, and today in our part second we will discuss about the what is the role of the police in investigating a crime. We had discussed a thing that police role is to take a decision that accused is guilt or not. On that time we had discussed not at all, police is not in a position to take a decision that accused is guilt or not. It's not the work of the police to decide that accused is guilt. So then what's the role of the police? We will continue it here. See, what is the role of the police in investigating a crime? If any crime happened, then what's the situation? First of all, when we are discussing about the role of the police, then first we will discuss about the steps. Overall, rules of laws are the main thing which is implemented by all of the persons. See, everyone is subjugated to the law of the land. Land, it means including police also. It means whatever decisions written in the law, all implemented with every citizens as well as police here. So police has a different role here. Police investigations always have to be conducted in accordance with law and with full respect for human rights. It means two things are there to follow up by the police. First one, according the law, every steps, every investigations subjugated, and the next one is respect human rights. We had discussed human fundamental rights in our chapter first, the constitution. So all these fundamental rights are to be respected by the police also. Main thing, guidelines laid down by the Supreme Court that the police must follow at the time of arrest, detention and interrogation. So whatever guidelines laid by the Supreme Court must be followed by the police at the time of arrest, at the time of detention and at the time of interrogation of the event or the case. Then what's the other thing? What's the other guidelines when we are discussing about the different guidelines issued by the Supreme Court? We will discuss it here. Literally, when we are discussing about the role of police, then itself a best thing that we will discuss about the guidelines of the Supreme Court here. The police is to investigate any complaint about the commission of a crime. It means whenever any complaint about any crime commitment is there, then police have to investigate that thing. Next is here, an investigation includes recording statements or witnesses, Recording statements of what, students? Recording statements of witnesses and collecting different kinds of evidence. It means two important things done by the police. First one, recording statements of the witnesses, and the next one is for what, students? Collecting different kinds of evidence related to the concerned case, and that's the main role here. Next one, on the basis of the investigation, the Supreme Court has laid down guidelines that the police must follow at the time of arrest, detention and interrogation. So, these all laid down by whom, students? All the guidelines had been laid down by the Supreme Court. Time to time many amendments are there, but first of all the guidelines issued by the Supreme Court. Here the police are not allowed to torture or beat or shoot. See, torture or beat or shoot anyone during investigation. It means what we are really considering in the films. Is it true, or what is the guidelines of the Supreme Court? That is true. आप सिंघम को देखिए, सिंघम क्या करता है फिल्मों में? सिंघम वही शूटिंग में टॉर्चर हो रहा है, बीटिंग हो रहा है, शूटिंग हो रहा है, ठीक है. बट वट एवर मे बी द डिसीजंस बाय द सुप्रीम कोर्ट, दैट पुलिस आर नॉट, टोटली नॉट अलाउड टू टॉर्चर एनीबडी during investigation. Next important thing here, they cannot inflict any form of punishment on a person even for a petty offences. So, this one is also the guidelines of the Supreme Court, that not any form of punishment is there on a person who is accused or for a petty offences arrested by the police. So, these are the main guidelines of Supreme Court. Then again, when we are discussing about the fundamental rights, then in Article 22, it is mentioned that the Constitution and criminal law guarantee to every arrested person the following fundamental rights. So, in Article 22, everything is in written. So, what's the first point here? The first point includes the right to be informed at the time of arrest. So, at the time of the arrest, it is the right to inform the persons or the relatives of the offense for which the person is being arrested. किसी भी घटना दुर्घटना के लिए किसी भी व्यक्ति को जब भी अरेस्ट किया जाता है तो सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है कि राइट टू इन्फॉर्म है कि आपको किस पर्पज से अरेस्ट किया जा रहा है. नेक्स्ट थिंग, व्हाट इज हियर? द राइट टू बी प्रेजेंटेड बिफोर अ मजिस्ट्रेट विदिन 24 hours of arrest. It means the fixed time period is there to be presented in front of magistrate. It means 24 hours. 24 hours are there that any accused presented to the magistrate here. Next one is here, the right not to be ill-treated. As we had discussed about the Supreme Court's guidelines, that the right not to be ill-treated or tortured during arrest or in custody by the police. So, what's here literally we will tell? Guidelines of Supreme Court as well as Article 22 mentioned all these fundamental rights to the arrested or accused person here. Next is confession made in police custody cannot be used as evidence against the accused, because many times all these evidences, all these confessions are made forcibly by the police to the accused person. So, all these confessions are not taken as the evidence against the accused person. Next is here, a boy under 15 years of age and woman cannot be called to the police station only for questioning. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या देखते हैं, जब हम बच्चों की बात कर रहे हैं, बच्चों की बात कर रहे हैं बच्चों हम यहाँ पे, जी हाँ आप सबकी बात कर रहे हैं. सो मस्ट अवेयर फॉर ऑल दीज फंडामेंटल राइट्स दैट इफ एनी बॉय इज अंडर द एज ऑफ 15 years और एनी वुमेन, they are totally not allowed to be called to the police station for any type of questioning by the side of the police. So the concept is here totally clear that women as well as under 15 years boys are totally not allowed for the police station. If any query, then police will come, and that is the another process. Okay students, see, when we are discussing about the article 22, when we are discussing about the guidelines of the Supreme Court, then we have the guidelines of the D.K. Basu's also. So what are the guidelines of D.K. Basu? See, procedures that the police and other agencies have to follow for the arrest, for the detention and interrogation of any person. It means many procedures are to be followed by the police in condition of any person's arrest, detention and interrogation. So what are these one? The police officials who carry out the arrest or interrogation should wear clear, first thing what? Wear clear dress, accurate and visible identification and name tags with their designation. So it's necessary for any police to wear clean dress with what? With designations, with name tags and with everything in a proper position as per D.K. Basu's guidelines. Next is here, a memo of arrest should be prepared at the time of arrest and should include the time and date of arrest. So first thing what? Memo. Memo of arrest should be prepared by whom? By the police. And in that memo what is written here? Time and date of the arrest is mentioned under memo. It should also be attested by at least one witness who could include a family members of the person arrested. अब यहाँ पे हम क्या देखते हैं बच्चों कि जो भी accused, जिसको अपराधी मान के पुलिस ने पकड़ा है, उसी की फैमिली के मेंबर को एज अ विटनेस उस मेमो पे साइन करना ज़रूरी है. और इसके अलावा और क्या होना चाहिए? सी हेयर, the arrest memo should be countersigned by the person arrested. So one witness plus one accused के भी काउंटर साइन होना उस मेमो पे ज़रूरी होता है. So everything is in knowledge of the accused person here. Next is what? The person arrested, detained or being interrogated has a right to inform a relative, friend or well-wisher. This one is also mentioned in the D.K. Basu's guidelines. If any person arrested by the police, then it is the right to inform to the relative, to the friend or to the well-wishers of the accused that this and this person is to be arrested under this crime. When a friend or relative lives outside the district, yes, maybe sometimes these positions also held because many times the person switched off from the home place to the another place where he or she employed. So on that condition what happens? When a friend or relative lives outside the district, the time, place of arrest and venue. See the important things, the time, the place and venue of custody must be notified by police within the time period, fixed time period, and that time period is from 8 hours to 12 hours after the arrest. So these are the main guidelines by D.K. Basu, by Supreme Court and under Article 22. We had discussed about this one. In the next part we will discuss about the role of police and FIR and how FIR must be negotiated, and after FIR, what's the role of the public prosecutor? And further on we will continue our chapter. Still be with us. Have a nice day.